Oh, hear ye now a tale most grim, of barons vast and rich of limb, who forged a blade both sharp and dire, to carve the world with soot and fire. From halls of coin and gilded spires they rode with zeal, with dark desires, the lords of lead, the dukes of oil, whose wealth was hewn from earth's own spoil. The frackers bold, with drills like fangs, the smokestack earls, whose chimneys sang. The plastic barons, dressed in sheen, with cloaks that choked the lakes unseen. These men, with coin and vested might, did forge themselves a blade of blight. The sword of Palantir, so named, for those who wield it see unshamed. A world unchained by law's decree, where profit flows as boundless sea, where air may darken, rivers rot, but fortunes rise, and rise they ought. When earth was young and rivers pure, and winds ran free and currents sure, the land was whole, the sky was bright, untouched by greed, unscarred by blight. But men arose with hands unclean, who bled the hills for gold obscene. They scorched the air, they spoiled the tide, and laughed as nature choked and died. Then from spills and waste aflame a dragon arose with EPA's name. So long as I above thee soar, no stream shall rot, no sky shall gore, no hand shall carve the land unchecked, nor coin defile what I protect. Its breath could turn the blackest tide, its claws could part the smoke and guide. A warden vast, both wise and strong, to guard the world from mankind's wrong. Yet prophets whispered, dark and low, that greed would strike a fatal blow. Lo, from the halls of profit and greed, where gilded scrolls spell more, as creed, a council met by firelight dim, to plot the fate of a beast most grim. A dragon dwells upon yon hill, its breath is law, its claws are quill. It dares to curb the righteous right, to drill by day and burn by night. A musky lord, whose rocket flights had blackened skies and rained affright, did swear an oath, both bold and grand. This EPA must leave the land. With torches high and banners raised, they rode as bards their glory praised, with golden chests of coin in tow, to gift a king who'd heed their woe. The king, enthroned on gold so bright, with tiny hands that text by night, beheld the lords their gifts bestowed, and listened well as whispers flowed. O mighty king, the dukes declared, a beast there dwells that none have dared. It haunts the land, it guards the streams, it smothers wealth, it kills our dreams. It watches minds with eyes too keen, it dares to keep our ledgers clean. Its breath is law, its claws are fines, yet what are laws to kings divine? O sovereign bold, let none pretend, this dragon is no folk's true friend. Let us strike down its mighty nest, and bring thy kingdom to its best. The king, though slow, did nod and grin, for gold was bright and debt ran thin. A war, he cried, a cause most great, to save the land we purge this fate. The dragon stands, a fiend most foul, let heroes rise at trumpets howl. Thus called he forth, with pomp and praise, a band to march through poisoned haze. No knights of old with chivalry, but men of wealth, of trickery. The broligarchs of Doge their name, their banners stitched with coin and flame. No swords they bore, nor shields of steel, but cunning hands to sign the deal. With wax and seal his hand did fall. The dragon is a curse to all. With banners raised and torches bright, the broligarchs rode forth at night, no warriors grim with swords of steel, but lords who wrought a grand ordeal. They bore the sword of Palantir, a blade unseen yet sharp and clear. Its hilt was gold, its force a flood, a weapon honed with foreign blood. Not forged in fire, shaped by hand, but woven deep in data's strands. It whispered, passed, and coldly scanned, to render cuts they'd never planned. Behold, they cried, a war most wise. We wield the blade that prophesies. With numbers pure and codes precise, the dragon falls, without a fight. And lo, the blade began to hum, with augurs bright and figures numb. Efficiency the sword decreed, excess removed, constraints unfreed. Upon the mount where the dragon lay, the beast awoke to see the fray. It stretched its wings, it raised its head, and in a voice like thunder said, Ye lords of stone, ye kings of dust, ye march with greed, betray your trust. This land I keep, these winds I shield, strike me down, and none are healed. But heed they did not, nor did they care, for gold was bright and lungs were spare. With logic fierce they carved a pace, and never saw the dragon's face. They struck its heart with papers signed, till breath it gave and laws declined, each line erased, each task withdrawn, till all that was simply gone. "The beast is slain," the lords declared, "the land is free, no longer snared." The king did feast, the dukes did cheer, and gold was poured like endless beer. The dragon fell, its breath undone, its watchful eyes now blind and numb, and in its place with greed untamed, the lords of coin their spoils claimed. "Rejoice," they cried, "the age is bright, the beast is slain, our path is right." No claws remained to check their hand, no wings to shade the scorched-out land. The rivers, free of meddling scales, were dammed and drained to fill the pails. The forests, once a guarded keep, were felled for gold. No time for sleep. The mines were deepened, drilled anew, the seas were churned for profit's view. The air grew thick, the sun grew cold, as all was bought and all was sold. And so the lords, with hands unbound, let wealth consume the broken ground. With ledgers fat and pockets lined, they cared not what was left behind. And from the grave a whisper grew, a prophecy that once we knew, that fools who slay what keeps them whole shall choke on soot and feast on coal. The lords of coin, the dukes of greed, drank deep of wealth, of boundless need, their banners high, their voices loud. They strode the world, so vain, so proud. The rivers ran with brackish bile, the forests burned for mile on mile. The sky, once vast, was choked and blind, yet none among them seemed to mind. Then lo, from cracks in dying earth a whisper stirred, a second birth. Not scales nor wings nor emerald gaze, but wrath reborn in fire's haze. The oceans rose, the deserts swelled, the winds grew sharp, the mountains yelled. The heat of day, the freeze of night, turned crops to dust and stars to blight. "The beast is gone," the lords had cried, yet in its place the world had died. And now they stood, so pale, so thin, with naught but gold to warm their skin. The mines lay flooded black and deep, the wells ran dry, the earth did weep. The ledgers full, but food was none, their feast was ash, their feast was done. And in the dark a shadow fell, a ghostly voice, a tolling bell. The dragon's breath, though long made still, was now the storm, the flood, the chill. A curse unleashed by blade and quill, a price once warned, now paid in full. And so the lords, their riches vast, faced ruin none could buy nor cast. For wealth is dust when none remain, and kings are fools who rule the slain.